Okay, so all of these events that we've been talking about is kind of getting into that idea of macroevolution. And there's two ways that scientists think that speciation happens as far as time frames go. There's punctuated equilibrium, and then there's gradualism. So what I'm going to do is draw them both for you. Let me clear this off, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So up here at the top, I'm going to draw something that looks like this. Okay, and let's say that we have species A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, that's going to be one way that it can happen. Now, the other way that it can happen is like this. Okay, I've lost one. Oh, this one. Okay. All right, so now we have A, B, C, D, E. And these are phylogenetic trees that I'm drawing here. So you can definitely see a difference from the top to the bottom. However, if you look, A and B are closely related, just like down here. D and E are closely related, just like down here. So it has the same basic idea. But if I say that time is going like this, right? You can see that this top one is showing what we call punctuated equilibrium, where you have a period of no change virtually, and then a lot of change, and then no change, everything's steady, and then a lot of change, right? Whereas if you look at this one down here, this is going to be more of what we call gradualism, where it's like, oh, they're accumulating differences, and then they finally split. It's a much more gradual process, right? So the question is, which one gets supported by the fossil record? And the scary thing is that it's actually this one that gets supported by the fossil record, and that's going to be what's called punctuated equilibrium. The reason for that is, if you think about it, a lot of things don't fossilize, right? So like skin and feathers and that kind of thing aren't going to really fossilize well. All we really see is bones. So this situation right here may not have fossilized well, right? So that's why we see like those big gaps in punctuated equilibrium. What scientists believe happens is gradualism. It's just that a lot of those changes don't get fossilized. So that's the difference between the two of those and how those work. Okay, so just to review, microevolution is going to be little changes over generations in allele frequencies. So those are really, really small changes. Speciation is going to be where all of a sudden those allele frequency changes have caused them to become so different from the original population that they can no longer interbreed, right? They become genetically isolated. And then when you have a whole bunch of speciation episodes as a result of microevolution, that's when you have macroevolution over time. So that's going to be how this whole process of speciation happens.